Hoshram? What are you doing here at this hour? I thought you were out guiding. Why have you...
Be quiet, Rafas. Close the door. Look.
Saren raised fire.
We are rich, my friend.
How? Where did you get all this?
Shh. Do you want every thief in Sothis to know of these riches?
Are you alright? You look sick.
I'm fine. It has been a long journey.
Are you sure? You look very weak. And your skin?
Yes, don't worry. Look at all this.
Where did you get it from?
I found it in the desert.
The desert? Where does a man find items of gold in the desert? Some of these looks to be holy relics.
Yes, I think they are. I even think they are from the time of the God Kings.
The God Kings? What has happened? Does this have something to do with that man that hired you?
It does. He was a man of Airori. A monk.
I remember. You said you wanted to go to Tarquata.
Yes, but we never reached Tarquata.
I warned you. In all my years as a guide, I would never have taken such a journey. Too long and too dangerous.
Yes, Rafas, you were right. But he offered me a lot of coin. If I had known of the dangers that would come our way, I would never have accepted.
No. That is why you should listen to me. I know the desert and its dangers.
But look, Rafas. Look at all this treasure.
Tell me how you got this.
The man's name was Salah, and like I said, he was a follower of Airori and very devoted to his god. We booked passage on a ship that sailed from Sothis down the river Sphinx. We went back on shore near Tepu and started our journey across the Assyrian desert on camelback. We rode for a few uneventful days, and I got to know Salah. He didn't start many conversations, but when asked about his god, he could speak for hours. I think I know more about the tenets of Airori than I do of Sarenrae now.
Don't say that, Hoshram.
Well, it is true. Salah didn't care about gold or treasure either. It could not fulfill the needs of the mind and body, he said. If only he had thought different. On the evening of the 5th day, we got caught in a sandstorm. I couldn't see. I led us through the storm, hoping I was moving in the right direction. Then, I saw something through the layers of sand. A building. I moved towards it, leading our scared camels and Salah. When we came close to the building, I could see that most of it was buried under the sand. The storm must have blown a great deal of sand away, revealing an opening, an entrance. Stairs led down into the dark, and a few steps in, it provided shelter from the storm. We moved in with some difficulty, but couldn't get our camels in because there was so much sand covering half of the entrance. But just inside there were iron torch holders in the wall. We tied the scared animals to them to prevent them from running away. The storm raged on, but we moved down a few steps and were sheltered from the storm. The building even provided some shelter outside for the camels, blocking some of the storm's impact. It was all we could do for them. I took out my lantern from my backpack and lit the candle within. I looked down and saw the stairs kept going down beyond the light. All kinds of writing and hieroglyphs marked the walls. I couldn't read it, but there were depictions of the God Kings, glorifying depictions. They seemed ancient. I asked Salah if we should move down to see what was down there.
We should stay here. And make sure the camels don't get loose and
Run
run.
away, he said. There was truth to what he said, but my curiosity, it got the best of me. Only one of us needs to look after the animals. Maybe there's a place we can rest down there, I said.
You will find nothing you need down there.
He replied and looked at me with a strange calm. And then he added,
But your path through life is not mine to decide. You do as you wish. I'll stay with the camels.
I will be back soon, I said, and headed down the stairs. They kept going down for many moments, for so long that I almost turned back, but then I saw a light ahead of me. It was my own light that was reflecting back at me, reflecting on a smooth, shiny surface. The stairs ended at a doorway that opened into a large room. Rafas, the wonders I saw in that room, you cannot imagine. Golden vases, plates, jewelry, figurines, and even statues. All of them made of gold. At first, I thought it was a treasure chamber, but then I realized that what I first had thought was a fallen statue was actually a golden sarcophagus. It stood in the middle of the room, and I could see that all the golden items had been carefully placed around it. I was in no treasure chamber. I was in an ancient tomb.
A tomb? To whom?
I do not know. I didn't think it important. The gold, all this treasure, that was important. I noticed there were 4 more sarcophaguses, one in each corner of the room. They were less decorated and noticeable. I figured they were the resting place to someone serving the one in the middle of the room. It didn't matter to me. All that mattered was that I would be living like a king soon. I called up the stairs for Salah. Salah! I needed help so I could collect as much of this treasure as possible. I pulled off my cloak and flattened it out on the ground. I started grabbing all the golden items I could carry and placed them on my cloak. I was so excited and happy that I didn't see the 4 sarcophaguses in the corners open. Neither did I hear Salah come down the stairs, but when I looked up in that direction, he stood in the doorway with a look of horror on his face. I turned around, following his line of sight. My blood froze, and all I could feel was despair.
What was it? Hoshram.
Mummies. 4 mummies. All of them moving towards me like they were alive.
Mummies?
Yes, Rafas. Like the ones they speak of in legends. Wrapped in strips of moldering linen, they walked towards me with outstretched arms. I couldn't move. I was paralyzed with despair. One of them reached me and grabbed me around my neck, squeezing, choking the life from me. Then Salah flew in from the side with a kick that made the mummy fall to the ground. The despair released its grip on me as I saw Salah fighting against the 3 standing mummies. He quickly fought them off, tripping 2 of them and push-kicking the 3rd back against the wall.
Run!
He yelled. I collected my cloak and headed for the stairs. Salah ran up beside me and grabbed my arm.
Leave the treasure!
He said. I looked back in the room and saw that the mummies were still gathering themselves from his attack. We can make it, I said, and turned to run up the stairs. He grabbed me firmly and took the cloak out of my hands and put it on the floor.
These things were not left for us. The guardians of this place won't follow us if we leave the treasure.
He preached. What a fool. He wanted me to let go of my only chance of ever being rich? To keep living as a poor guide? The mummies were now approaching us again. It was too late. I had to leave the treasure. We couldn't outrun them. Not unless they were distracted by something else. I walked up a few steps backwards with Salah doing the same. Indeed, it looked like the mummies wouldn't follow us now that we were out of the tomb. I looked at my cloak lying in the doorway, the glimmer of gold within it shining. I looked at Salah, his front to the tomb and his back towards me. With all my strength, I pushed him down the stairs and into the tomb. But he was lightning fast and grabbed my shirt, pulling me down with him. I saw the look of disappointment in his eyes, and I am sure that he would have taught me a lesson right there and then. But as soon as he crossed the threshold to the room, the 4 mummies grabbed him, and he was forced to let go of me in his attempt to fight off the mummies. But 4 of them were too much, even for him. With the mummies distracted, I picked up my cloak and ran up the stairs. To my luck, the storm had stopped, and the camels were still there. I untied them and sent one of them running out in the desert. I didn't see how Salah would have survived, but just to be sure, I jumped on the other camel and started finding my way back here. I just arrived to the city and I came straight here to you, my friend.
Hoshram, you killed that man.
Rafas, look at this treasure. We will never have to work again.
But still,
But still what? How many more years would we work as guides for those more fortunate than us? For how long would we be able to support our families? No, Salah the holy monk was willing to stop us, me, you, and our families from having a decent life.
come, lie down. I assure you all right.
Yes, this cough. It's been with me ever since the mummy wrapped its hand around my neck. It must have squeezed my throat harder than I thought. I just need some rest.
You can sleep here tonight, my friend.
Thank you, Rafas. Tomorrow, we start living as kings.